At the end of the day, when we're facing big challenges that feel super daunting for us, having someone else be able to take a look and be able to provide a clear path forward can be super, number one, anxiety relieving. Also, to be able to just allow us to take a breath.
Welcome to Thrive by Design, the podcast for ambitious, independent jewelry brands looking to profit from their products. Get ready to make more and sell more doing what you love without spending every single waking minute doing it. Hey, and if you're a creative, fashion, or product-based business, I want to welcome you to the show. I'll be dropping big tips on launching, growing, and scaling your business so you can spend more of your precious time using your creativity to make money. You ready? All right, let's do this.
Welcome to the Thrive by Design podcast, episode 444. Hey there, it's Tracy Matthews, Chief Visionary Officer of Flourish and Thrive Academy, and the host of the show today. Welcome to the podcast, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I am recording this the week before Thanksgiving. We had to move our schedule around due to our early Black Friday Cyber Weekend sale, and I am thrilled to be coming in with a gratitude episode. I love talking about how to basically put a spin on gratitude and be grateful for everything that's happening to you. And so in this episode, we're going to talk about embracing your challenges as a path to growth for your jewelry business. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that throughout the episode. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this is because I've been talking about this a lot over the past couple of weeks. And you've heard me talk about my retreat that we hosted and our VIP day events. And this was a big topic at those events. In fact, I was working with one of my VIP clients recently, and she is a badass. She is growing her business. She's very close to doing $1 million in revenue. And she'll probably cross that marker this year if she, plays her cards right. And even if she doesn't, she's definitely going to do it next year. And one of the things that she was really struggling with is she kept telling herself this story. I'm bad at business. I love jewelry, but I'm bad at business. And I'm like, let's explore that a little bit more because, you didn't go to business school, and that doesn't, just because you didn't learn it doesn't mean that you're bad at business. And I think a lot of times we come up with this negative self-talk about how we are, who we're showing up to in the world. And we discount all that we've done. This is someone who's doing close to $1 million in revenue, and she's telling herself that she's bad at business because she's telling herself, or she has this story about her current situation. Now, I'm going to give you some backstory, and for obvious reasons, I'm going to keep the person behind this business confidential because I don't think she'd want her name attached to the story, even though it is a really triumphant and amazing story. So this jewelry business owner had invested a lot of money into her business this last year. And she's gotten into a little bit of debt. And she had to do this because she moved to a studio space. She decorated that studio space. And the way that she was creating the studio space was to invite these high-end customers into the space because there is an experience that you need to create for people at that level. Anyway, so she's gotten into a little bit of debt. She's also launching her own jewelry line and doing a bunch of things simultaneously. And it's been really hard for her to zoom out to see the bigger picture of how having debt in a business like this is actually, it can be a challenge. I understand that, but also is just a means to get to where she wants to get. And she was really struggling because she's looking myopically at her current situation and could not figure out how to get out of this predicament. She's stuck in this challenge. So we sat down with her, me and my team, and we were taking a look at everything that's going on in her business. And because we are not emotionally attached to the business or the situation in general, and more than anything, we just want to support her and help her get out of this predicament that she's going through, it's really easy for us to see a path forward. So we created a plan for her to offload extra inventory, to potentially restructure the debt, to come up with a liquidation strategy for anything that's not moving or not selling that she overinvested in, and also help her get to a place where she can create some really high-end offers for people to do custom work with her or buy her new collection so that she can generate some cash flow quickly over the next 6 to 8 weeks. to look at her after having this conversation with her and to see her sense of relief and to feel her energy and all that stuff after having someone else be able to help her work through a challenge like that was just remarkable, because she finally feels like there's hope. And I think at the end of the day, when we're facing big challenges that feel super daunting for us, having someone else be able to take a look and be able to provide a clear path forward can be super, number one, anxiety relieving, also to be able to just allow us to take a breath. And so there's a reason why all of the most successful people in the world have had mentors, right? Have found someone who's already walked through the fire and experienced those challenges to help them walk through and move through, with ease and grace. And I say that because a lot of times it doesn't have to be hard, but we make it hard because we don't see another way. And so I want to encourage you that no matter what you're facing, today we're going to talk about how to really embrace your challenges as a path to growth and to be grateful for them. Now, many of you know my experience, may have heard me talk about it before, but I've been in the jewelry industry for a very long time. And similarly to this designer here, I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, even though I was working super hard to grow a business. And I did some amazing things. And this is what I forgot to realize at that time. I grew a business. My business was generating a ton of cash with a low-end product, which was crazy. I was shipping thousands of units a month. I was in over 350 stores around the world. And all of that became dampened or overshadowed by a big challenge that I was facing in 2008 when the market crashed. I had zero cash flow and no one was buying. So what do, right? And I went through this experience, and you may have heard this before, but I eventually, I'm fast forwarding and kind of zipping through things, but I eventually decided to close that business down. I filed for bankruptcy and launched a new company doing something very different, moving into my fine custom jewelry company, which has been an incredible vehicle for wealth for me. I've been able to build it as a very successful side hustle, and I call it a side hustle because I think of it as a lifestyle business. It provides me a lot of the things that I love, like creativity, financial security, and it also allows me to dabble in the thing that I'm teaching you to do as well on an ongoing basis. But I only spend 5% of my time doing it because I've set it up in such a way. And one of the ways that I was able to build that business were through all of the challenges that I had with my first company and seeing, there's got to be a better way. And getting a mentor and joining mastermind groups and getting coached by people who have already done what I was trying to do. And so my point being here is that you are going to face challenges every single week in your business. Now, the type of challenges you're going to face are going to be bigger as your business grows. It's going to be more stressful as your business grows. And until you learn the lesson, you will keep being faced with those same challenges. They'll keep knocking you over the head. They'll keep coming back in different ways until you grow from them and use those challenges as a vehicle for growth. And so that's why I wanted to talk about it this year for my Thanksgiving issue or my Thanksgiving gratitude episode, because I do really believe that the challenges we face in business allow us to do so many things in our business if we will use them as that vehicle for growth. And today when I posted on Instagram, there was this LL Cool J sound, and it was talking about what does success look like? And one of the things that he said in there, it's be courageous, put yourself out there, execute, learn from your mistakes, fail fast, but take the learnings and do something different. And that's what it's all about. And so when we're thinking of our challenges and how they're helping us grow, one of the best things that we could do is to do something different and learn those lessons to move forward. And most importantly, surround ourselves with people who can help support us and move us through those challenges much more quickly. And so I decided to do something this year that I'm going to mention. And I'm going to also talk about some of the great things that we can use challenges for as a vehicle for growth. But I wanted to talk about this first because I am launching my first mastermind in, I think, 6 years. We used to have a mastermind over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy. And when Robin and I decided to go different ways, we put the mastermind on the back burner. And it's been something that's been calling me that I've been really excited to release, but I was about to launch it last year and it just didn't feel like it was the right time. I had some things that I needed to work on for myself. And I was also going through my own challenges with my personal life and my business. And I didn't feel like I was in a strong enough place to lead this group at that time. And that's normal. Like, we all go through those types of things. And so I've had a year to think about it. And what I really want to create, and what I've been dying to create this year, and I am creating because we already have people joining this group, and it's an opportunity to be in my inner circle. And what that means is you work with me on a VIP basis for a year. You have direct access to me, and you also have access to my team and my board of advisors that I am curating for this group. We will meet twice a year, and you'll also have access to everything, all the other retreats and events that we do as a business over here at Flourish and Thrive, if you want to attend those as well. But the great part about this group is that we're going to be meeting twice a month, and we're going to be hot seating and working together to help the other members in this group elevate to their next level. It is best for people who already have a significant income in their business, like they're already at least mid 6 figures, all the way up to multiple 7 figures. And if that's you and you have been looking for a mastermind group and you want to work with me and some really incredible badasses, we have some space available. And this is invitation only, but I don't know everyone. And so I want to invite you, if you're listening to this and you're interested in this, to apply for this mastermind. It's going to be awesome. So all you have to do is head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/mastermind, fill out a quick application, and we'll jump on a call and see if it's a good fit, if it seems like you're a good candidate for it. And I'm being highly selective with this group on purpose because the people who are invited in this group are going to be in the circle of trust. And what I mean by that is that we are working together to support each other throughout the year. And I keep saying each other because I'm here as like the conduit to support you. But as the leader of the group, I'm always learning something as well from everyone in the group, which is amazing. So if it sounds interesting, head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/mastermind and just fill out that application and let's chat. And if you're not sure if it's for you, since I'm vetting this group, shoot me a DM over on Instagram at Tracy Matthews NY, and we can discuss if it's a good fit for you or not based on where you are in business. All right, so let's talk about embracing challenges with gratitude as a path to growth for your jewelry company. Now, there are a lot of reasons why we should be grateful for our challenges, and even though they suck to go through and we wish we had fewer, the fact of the matter is that things are always coming up. You know, we might have a team member who goes rogue, or it just doesn't work out, or we might invest in ads for a while and for some reason we're not getting a return on ad spend, or we're trying a marketing strategy that a bunch of your friends are working but it's not working for you. Like, there's always going to be something, right? And it shows up in different ways based on what you need to learn. So at the event, I shared this saying. I heard it on Instagram like literally the morning of it, and I was like, I have to reference this. And it just reminded me of something that my friend Spencer said to me as well one time. And it goes like this: the magic you seek is in the work you're avoiding. And I feel like sometimes challenges show up because there's something that we're avoiding in our business. And the fastest path to growth is to face those challenges head on. And so what I would like to tell you, like, here are some of my favorite reasons or my favorite understandings of how challenges help us grow in business. So before we do that, what I really want you to do is just think through or write down or just jot it down, whatever you're praying for, whatever you're trying to solve for in your business, just write that down. If you're driving, don't write it down, but just think it in your head. Or if you're working with a torch, make sure there's no paper flying by or right next to you. Challenges offer us a unique opportunity to become more resilient and to grow because they push us out of our comfort zone and they lead us on a personal growth path. Now, I always say that entrepreneurship is the biggest crash course in personal development. That's because they show us how to navigate through difficult times, and also show us how strong or how stable or how courageous or how, resilient we are when it comes to coping with future obstacles in our business. And here's the thing. A lot of people listening to this podcast they do everything in their business. They don't have a team, they don't have any money to invest in marketing, or they are kind of at a place where they probably could invest a little bit of money in something like a team member, a virtual assistant, or something along those lines. But the challenge is they haven't figured out how to make the leap from being the person who does everything to getting things off their plate. And so they come up with a lot of obstacles. Number one, no one can ever do anything as good as they can. They get a low return on ad spend or investment on their marketing. They are self-sabotaging. I mean, I even do this sometimes when I'm trying to get things off my plate. And it's because we have habitually trained ourselves to do things in a certain way. And it's scary to let go of control with something that you feel so close to, right? And so at a certain point, if you want to continue growing, you will never be able to do everything yourself. And so you have to figure out, like, what is the first thing that I can get off my plate? And so I was talking with one of the designers that we were working with who's in our momentum program, who was, really feeling bad because she was like, I feel guilty when I'm in my studio working on some of my projects and custom orders from clients that have backed up, and my kids are on the couch, and I get it. I'm like, I know, and I can understand that struggle and pain. And she's like, but I just don't know how I can scale doing everything myself. And I was like, there might be a different way to look at this, because I know a lot of makers, and I'm going to do a full episode about this, have an emotional attachment to making every single piece themselves. And so many of you have reached out to me to tell me how burned out you are. And if that's you, reach out to me on Instagram, because I want to know, like, are you interested in learning, like, how to actually leverage being a designer as opposed to being a maker and step into your role as Chief Visionary Officer? Because what is so simple for someone like me, because I've been doing it for so long, to see how you can build a production line and do things a lot more efficiently by outsourcing. We have all different types of jewelry business owners listening to this podcast, but a huge majority of them are makers. So if you've been doing everything yourself and you're burnout and you're just like, I can't even stand to look at it, like, but what do I do? Like, I'm so attached to this business. There is a better way. It's like, there's a way to reproduce what you do and have someone else make that product for you. And when we showed her a clear path forward to having production made by someone else, she was just like, oh my gosh. Because what she creates is so unique. It's not something that is very simple to have produced, but we're like, here are some things, here are some different ways to look at that production cycle, that maybe it's that you're assembling things in-house, or you have core components where you create this key line where you can create the same type of look without you having to do everything. So this is a conversation for a bigger story, but these are opportunities for growth and resilience. And to see the look of relief on this designer's face or this maker's face when I provided a solution for her, it's like 1,000 years of weight had been lifted off her shoulder. And so when you're stuck in an obstacle, I want you to think to yourself, like, what can I learn from this, and how is this teaching me something new? Because really what this is providing you is an opportunity to learn something. So every challenge that we come across is a learning opportunity. They encourage us to think critically, to problem solve, to develop a new skill set. And if we were to reference the story of a business owner that I was talking about earlier, where she's like, I'm bad at business, like, learning how to run a business is just that, learning how to run a business, right? Learning how to run a business is learning how to run a business. You're always learning. That's why, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies have executive coaches, because they have blind spots too. And so do you. And so if you can use this as an opportunity to learn, how awesome is it to come from this place of gratitude, knowing that you are much better for the challenges that you face because you're learning from them, right? I think another thing that we could be grateful for with our challenges is that it gives us an opportunity to really hone in our problem solving skills. I always say, like, one of my favorite things to do in a business is to like solve problems. And sometimes it can be exhausting because there's a lot to do. But facing challenges helps us like really become inventive and resourceful and scrappy. If we learn to approach problems from all these different angles, we can become much more creative in finding solutions on how to solve those problems, right? And so becoming a better problem solver is something to be grateful for because, as I mentioned earlier, you're still going to have the challenges, but if you can solve them faster, learn from them, all these things, then everyone's better for it, right? Challenges also allow us an opportunity to appreciate all of our successes. So when we improve our problem-solving abilities, we learn from our challenges, we can approach problems from different angles, we start to find creative solutions for everything that we're doing, and we start to appreciate the contrast between what it was like when we were really in a bad spot and what it's like when things are good. And so we can really appreciate success and identify what success looks like, identify what it feels like to have a more profitable business, right? Also, when we're faced with challenges, it deepens our empathy muscle, right? We understand what other people are going through, and it might allow us this softer place of approaching our business from a place of compassion, right? If you listen to my episode with Zach Rader, there were 2 back-to-back episodes, and last week we dropped a bonus episode that was just a bonus meditation. He talked about asking your business what it needs from you and really listening to the business instead of just taking from it. It can deepen our experience with empathy and understanding when we face other situations or we encounter someone else who is challenging or challenged in a situation maybe that we were in before. And that's why, as I mentioned earlier, mastermind groups can be so powerful because everyone's coming at it from a different perspective. And if someone has been through something super challenging before in their business and you guys are supporting each other and they can provide insight and value to you based on like the experience that you're having now, like everyone benefits from it. Because as my former co-founder, Robin Kramer used to say, she's always like, great givers are great getters. And I don't know if that someone else said that before her, but it's true. Like when you are able to provide insight into something, you get so much from that insight because it offers you a different perspective. It offers you an opportunity to show up from a place of empathy and understanding for someone else's situation. And it also allows you to be from a place of being more supportive in your personal life because, the most successful people don't do it in a vacuum. We think of all the billionaires in the world and they're going to Sun Valley, Idaho. I know this because we always go to Sun Valley as a family. My family's always there at the 4th of July. I can't always make it. But a couple days after the 4th of July, all the billionaires come to Sun Valley and they have a conference so that they can support each other. And just like billionaires do, like small business groups, coaching programs, mentorship, like all of that is super powerful way for you to get support. And then there's 2 other things that I wanted to talk about here in particular. Now, the first one is that I mentioned this earlier, is that entrepreneurship is the fastest path to personal development. But what that does is that it increases your self-awareness because when we're experiencing big challenges in our business and our life, we're actually faced to look at our values and what we prioritize and the goals that we're setting, like all of these things. And that self-reflection allows us to have a deeper understanding of what really matters to us. Now, one of my favorite things to do, and one of the things that I'm really moving and steering the direction of everything I do from a coaching and mentorship perspective happens over here at Flourish and Thrive Academy, is to get your business into alignment with what matters personally to you. Because if you don't have a vision for what you want in your personal life, your business is going to take over. And what happens is that has a huge impact on your relationships, on your family life, on your financial security and your wealth, on every aspect of the things that actually matter. And causes burnout when you don't do that. And so it's really important to use challenges as a vehicle for increased self-awareness, because the more that you know about yourself, the more that you understand what you value, the more that you can set better goals for yourself personally, and the more that you can build a business that supports that. And then finally, I don't know about you, but a lot of people who are growing big businesses or bigger businesses, they can be competitive. I don't know what to say, but they can be. So if that's you, if you have a more like competitive nature, overcoming difficulties and challenges can be motivating. It proves to us that we can face anything and conquer obstacles. And this can be a huge driver for future endeavors or future goals that we have in our life and our business. And so let me recap that. One of the reasons why I feel like, or I believe that we should be grateful for our challenges is that they allow us a vehicle for personal growth and to become resilient in our business. They create significant learning opportunities. They help us increase our problem-solving abilities. They allow us to be grateful for our success. They deepen our empathy and understanding of what it's like to go through challenges like that, and also help us support others, which can be deeply gratifying. It increases our self-awareness of what we really want and desire in our life, and also can be a motivational factor and a driving force to help us move forward in business and life. So here's a couple of just tips as we wrap up this episode. When you're facing challenges in your life and in your business, approach these challenges from a place of curiosity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Ask your business what it needs from you in that moment when it's experiencing a big challenge. Learn the lessons from those challenges and change your strategy. And make that a lasting change. Like, don't keep repeating the same thing. Einstein says, definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Use them as fuel for change. And this one is really important. If something doesn't work out and you fail, having a failure or a business that fails or something that fails inside of your business does not make you a failure. And I want to really drive this home. My brother said this to me because when I was really struggling last year in a severe state of burnout and just having a dark night of the soul and an existential crisis, pretty much, he said to me, Tracy, I know that you feel like you're probably a failure if this business doesn't work out or something, or the thing doesn't work out or whatever you're trying to do, if this falls flat. But you have to remember, number one, a lot of really successful business owners fail all the time. They have multiple bankruptcies, some of them. And just because your business failed or something failed inside of the business does not make you a failure. It just means it didn't work out. So if you can take that to heart, it just means it didn't work out, and embrace that with a place of gratitude, then you're 100 steps ahead of everyone else. And I want to just wrap this up, is to be grateful for all of it. Be grateful for all of it and honor everything that is going well in your business on a daily basis. If you can, start a gratitude list and spend 5 minutes in the morning or the evening just sharing what you're grateful for, right when you wake up, whenever it works out for you. Find a time and commit to that. Be grateful for what you have, even if it's not business related. You have your health, you have your family, maybe you have love. All of these things are brilliant things that you have in your life. And the more that you focus on what you do have and what is going well, the easier it will be to overcome any challenge that you ever face. And the more you'll start attracting what it is that you really want. So I hope this was helpful for you today. And I want to mention that we would love to invite you into our supportive community to support you wherever you are in your business journey. So I mentioned the mastermind program that I'm curating earlier on in this episode. If you're curious about that and you'd really like to take your business to the next level and work with a series of high-level entrepreneurs, jewelry business owners who are up to big things next year, go over to flourishthriveacademy.com/mastermind, fill out a quick application, and let's chat and see if it's a good fit. And if that doesn't seem like it's a good fit for you, we have other coaching programs that we would love to support you in, including our Laying the Foundation program and Momentum program. And if you're not sure what's right for you, feel free to reach out to us over at flourish_thrive on Instagram, and let's chat in the DMs, and we'll chat a little bit more about your business to help you decide what the right fit is. All right, thanks so much for listening today. This is Tracy Matthews signing off. Until next time.